All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. I'm here this evening to inform you on wind power, its history and its current state as an alternative form of energy. You know, I'm sure some of you have seen, like I have, truckloads full of massive these blades and these shafts that go into the production of wind turbines, most of which are heading out to West Texas and California. To create wind farms, as I call them. You know, this is a promising sign because harnessing wind power will allow us in the future to draw further away from our reliance on fossil fuels. You know, maybe not fully replace it in our lifetime, but again, at least lessen our reliance on fossil fuels. A little brief overview of how it works. Basically, winds are caused by the uneven heating of the Earth's atmosphere, the irregularities of the Earth's surface, and the rotation of the Earth. So basically, these winds that are created by all three of those factors spin the blades on these turbines. This kinetic energy is turned into electricity by a generator located at the base of the turbine. And then this electricity is sent to the power grid. This is going to be a brief history. Basically, wind power can be traced back to around 5,000 BC, where people along the Nile River figured out they could, propel themselves on a boat, up and down the river. And so, that basic idea led to around 200 BC in China, where they started to use windmills to basically pump water and basic processing of foods. By the 11th century, people in the Middle East were using windmills extensively for food production, pumping water, all sorts of other uses. And there was crusaders and merchants during that time period that brought the idea back to Europe. Then came industrialization, first in Europe and then America. Industrialization basically led to a sharp decline in the use of windmills for all of the purposes I just discussed. But industrialization also sparked the development of larger windmills, and that's what we call wind turbines today. These wind turbines appeared as early as 1890 in Denmark. Okay, so fast forwarding to the present and looking to the future, wind power now accounts roughly for 2% of the world's energy production. However, this number has been steadily increasing. By some estimates, it should reach around 20% by the year 2030. Now, these estimates are based on current technology. So, one must consider companies like GE, that's just one out of a few, that are developing technologies that will greatly increase the efficiency of wind turbines and, hopefully, by some estimates, by threefold. So, if you do the math, we're looking at by 2030, anywhere close to 60% of our power could be generated by a sustainable source. The current state of wind power in the United States is encouraging to me. As of the beginning of 2009, the United States passed Germany as the world's leading producer of wind power. I'm especially proud of the Roscoe wind farm. It's located right here in Texas, so for all Texas natives, I think that's something to be proud of. Especially this being an oil state, I think that's pretty cool. You also have people like T. Boone Pickens, Texas billionaire. Anybody knows the story? His idea pretty much stalled, but he is really pushing the idea of wind power. So hopefully, the billions of dollars that guy has from oil, he'll put into a renewable resource like wind power. So, I promise this would be brief and short. In conclusion, harnessing the power of the wind, and putting a greater emphasis on the technology of wind power will allow us to dramatically reduce pollution, greenhouse gases, and our reliance on fossil fuels. Thank you.